Come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Let's talk about Star, Season 1, Episode 6. This one was really good. This was, I want to say that this was actually my favorite episode so far. So, okay, remember last time when we left off, Star had just left out of Hunter's house, and the paparazzi was out there. So, they got some photos of her and all of that. And, she was posing. She was eating it up. And she was actually trending. So, it didn't take very long before Alex told her, she's like, girl, you're trending for the wrong reasons. You're trending. Our music isn't trending. You're trending. So, we're starting to see a lot of the self-centeredness of Star and that kind of thing. And it was like, she's like, really taking solace in all the wrong stuff, and it's just getting to be really a bit much. She's hard to watch. She really is, because she's like really aggravating as hell. Then I said, I wonder what's going on with the whole thing with Hail, and then we see him. As soon as I said it, we see him, and he was getting ready to get it, baby. He was ready to put a bullet right in his head, honey, and the phone call came through, and here we found out later that it was actually Hunter's mom, and she ended up picking him up from the place. She paid off all of what he owed from the whole trafficking and all that. She paid the debt off and told him, now listen, our little music situation, I saved your ass, and everything just changed. So when it comes to that group, when it was 20% versus 80%, now it's 80-20 my favor, because you owe me or your ass would have had a bullet in your head. So he's like, all right, whatever. He didn't like it, but what nothing he could do. She said, the next thing I want you to do, you get Star, get her out of the group, and get that bitch away from my son. So those are the two things that you need to do. Get rid of her. Make her want to leave. So right after that, I ends up going to rehearsal. They were going to rehearsal. They had to perform. They had a benefit that they were going to perform at. And he basically started the motion to really piss off Star. He took and pulled Alex and put Alex in the center and made her the lead for that song, which pissed Star off. Star had a whole moment where, and again, misconstruing things. We see a flashback of Mary. She was actually singing, what was the song? I Have Nothing. And when it got to the high spot, she's like, I can't do it. I can't do the high notes. Mary pulled her into the mirror and told her, she said, yeah, you can. She said, why did I name you Star? And she said, okay. And she says, I want to be just like you, Mommy. And she said, no, I want you to be better than me. So I'm like, all of that was good. All that was good. But what she took from it is by any means necessary. She went the whole ghetto route with it. So there's a whole little situation there. She ends up telling Hail, so you're mad about Hunter, because in her mind, her crazy ass believes that Hail wants her. And in some ways, I think he kind of do. But she told her, she told him rather, all of this is because of Hunter. You're jealous and you're mad. You're mad, and then he told me that you snort more coke than Tony Montana. I said, oh, she's so smart. And he said, no, it's about your antics. All that being on TMZ, it ain't no good look for the group. It's not a good look for the group. So she went on about her way. She's like, whatever. So it created immediate friction in the group. Alex then talks to Hail, and she's like, what's going on? I'm not buying it. Something's going on. And he said, oh, no, baby, it's all about you. I've been watching you the whole time. It's all about you. You're the star of the group, this, that, the other. Trying to play them, and Alex ain't going for it. She's like, something ain't right. That ain't it. And he had the nerve to say, you only does low rent bitches. Talking about Simone and Star. Alex didn't buy into it. She really didn't. She's like, I ain't feeling that. So, There was another little confrontation with Hyle and Star. She basically told her what she was thinking. And she's like, whatever, it is what it is. She told him again, you snorting all that coke. And she told him, you need to get away from Hunter. You need to get away from Hunter. You don't know Hunter. And it's bad. Hunter's bad news. Star gonna say, you're just jealous. You're jealous. And if you give up the blow, then maybe I'll give up Hunter. He looked at her and called her an ungrateful little bitch. I said, oh, okay. So while all of this is going on, Alex is over. She's hanging out with the little boyfriend, and he had invited her to a cookout, a family cookout. So she was a little nervous because she's not used to being really around, regular, traditional, non-money having black folks. So she was a little nervous. But Simone kind of walked her through, helped her pick out an outfit, told her to slouch a little bit, just be comfortable, just chill. So the first person she ended up meeting, before she left, she actually had a little issue with Star. They were all talking, and Star was like talking shit to her and gonna tell her, "Girl, you let me." She said something about, basically letting her know, "Girl, it is what it is. I don't know why Hyle's putting you in the front, but whatever." It is what it is. I guess she'll be okay. She's being real shady to her. And Alex was like, whatever, Star. And she going to say, well, don't let me rent space in your head and maybe you'll be able to pull it off. And I was like, oh my God. So Simone basically told her, Simone was like, I can't with you. That's just nasty. Why are you being rude to her? She hasn't done anything. You are tripping. And she's like, you going to keep on. And this is going to break us up, this kind of behavior. But anyway, so she said, well, why ain't I get invited to go to the cookout? And she's like, well, why would you get invited to go to the cookout? I was like, okay. So off she goes. She goes on the cookout. First person she meets is one of his uncles, one of the little guy's uncles. And the uncle raps and he sings. And when he told her that she sings, she said, I'm gonna pay you something, pick out a song, me and you gonna get at it since you say you know how to sing, we gonna get at it and see what you got. So she's like all nervous and everything. And remember, she just had that little whatever it was going on with Star. And then we turn around and look, Star and brought her ass to the motherfucking cookout. Uninvited. Because it's like a big old, they live just a couple doors down. Big old cookout, baby came up in there with her ass, drinking a beer and carrying on. Turned around and looked. The grandmother went the fuck off. Because this grandmother's off the hook. She's a drunk and she ain't all there. She knocked the fucking table over. She said, what is you doing here with your ugly ass? And she had, right before she said it, she said something smart about the little boy's mother. So I take it that his mother was white. Because he looked like Albie Shore, child. But I think his mother must have been white or mulatto or just very, very fair skinned. Child, she gonna say, with your ugly ass, this, that thing, and the other. To Star, she gonna say, get that bitch the fuck out of here. You know good well I don't like no white people. White people is just bad. You get that bitch out of here. She went off. She even went to get her, and they was like, Grandma. And then she took Alex. She said, come on here with your pretty black self, girl. Help Grandma up to her room. So, motherfucking white bitch. I said, oh my gosh. So Star's just looking. Star's like, it's cool, it's cool. And everybody was just kind of looking. And I was like, all right. So then after that, Alex come back down, and her and the uncle sang. They did really good. She sang, what's the song? The world ain't getting no better. That whole song. Come together, come together. She sang that, and then he rapped. It was really good. It really was. It was good. It was a good musical interlude. It wasn't too much or anything. It was good. His rap was really good. It was flowing. It was cool. But it was killing Star. That the fact that the family was going in for Alex, and for her to shut up and not sing, because she's all over there. When they got those things, she's like, "Girl, ain't nobody answer you saying. Now go sit down before they call Grandma back down here on your motherfucking ass." And she's so stupid she didn't even have enough sense to leave. After that, you didn't upset that boy's grandmother like that. Just ridiculous. And then told him, she said, well, I know, I kind of get it. I understand how y'all feel now when people be acting like that, about y'all. I was like, girl, sit down. Stressed out. Anyway, so back at home, Carlotta. There was this tension between Carlotta and Cotton. And the preacher has never been to Carlotta's house, like to her house for anything. Like he came to the salon once, but he's never been to her house. Cotton's never been to church. So Cotton kept throwing these hints at her. And she says he was actually on his way coming in to the house to bring something. And she told Cotton, go upstairs and get me that old curl down. So she said, I get it, Mom. Why don't you just say it? She said, you don't want me around when your holy crush comes in. So I'm like, really? So I started looking at Carlotta. I said, are you really embarrassed by Cotton? Okay. I've dealt with that kind of thing before. Not to that extent, but definitely where your family pretends to be so down with whatever it is that you got going on, but they really, really ain't. Been there, done that. Child, fuck them. Anyway, so he loves his mother. Cotton loves loves her mother, but she kind of knows, she can feel it. You can feel it. You know when somebody's like kind of hiding you out. So later on, Carlotta says, oh, it was Simone said, I invited him for dinner. And everybody's kind of like looking. And Cotton was like, well, don't worry. He said, you don't want me here for dinner. I won't be here. And so after a little bit after that, Carlotta was like, I wouldn't have dinner without you here. But she really didn't want to. You can see she felt forced into it. Honey, that dinner was so goddamn itchy. And I said, oh, what is going on? It was so tight. Everything was so, so tight. And the preacher looks over and says to Carlotta, she says something, and Cotton says something, and he said, you have a beautiful daughter, Carlotta. And she said, yeah, you wouldn't notice she had a daughter at all sometimes around here. I was like, old Cotton, stop throwing digs at your mother, honey. She was throwing digs at her mother. I was like, girl, stop it. And a little bit after that, she was washing dishes. Cotton had got up to leave because he asked why. The preacher asked why hadn't she been to church, and she said, got up. Said, well, where are you going? She said, I'm going somewhere where they serving liquor, child. She left, and she's washing dishes. He's standing there, and she broke out and told him she gonna say, here. She showed actually a picture, and it is a real picture of Amaya as a little boy, because Amaya was adorable as a little boy. She looked the same. That she's a real pretty little boy, and then she's a beautiful young lady. You know what I mean? And you can actually see it. But it was the actual picture of Amaya, and she said, I named him Arnold. His name is Arnold. It's Cotton is a man. That's my son. And the preacher's face, there was some disdain or something going on, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting till next week to see what the look was about. I don't know if the disdain was at the fact that Cotton is a man, or if the disdain was at the fact that she has hidden that from him for so long. That's such a big part of her life. And that's what she said. I had a son. I had a boy, or whatever. So I can't wait to see what direction Lee takes this in. It's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. Anyway, Hunter ends up getting back to Star and gets her and tells her basically that he wants her to be his street bitch. Because that's what she said. I'm sorry about the credit card, but I'm just a street girl, And when you give me a credit card, I know right from wrong, but it just brings the street bitch out of me. He told her, I want you to be my street bitch. I said, oh, girl, you think that's cute? Anyway, so they was fucking as they usually do right before the performance, and he buys her a dress. He took the dress she had and he actually threw it in the garbage. It was like, something real low budget and cheesy that Star had to put on. He bought her a $3,000 dress. Took her ass up in there. Took her up in there. Portia Williams was actually on there as a guest. She was the hostess for the benefit event. They went to do their song. Of course, Star was looking like $1 million back there in this $3,000 dress, and the two of them was kind of like, what they had on was like, okay, child. And they're singing a song, and then we get another flashback of Star and the mother, and baby, all at once, Star literally just took over. She went on and took Alexandra's spot right in the midst of the number, walked right up front, honey, and just started singing the lead. And, Alex is professional, so she just fell to the back. And that was it. After that, honey, Hunter's mom told Hayo, I told you two things to do. That bitch is still up in my son's face, and she's still with the group, and then she's doing a lead. Are you kidding me? She said, I told you to get rid of that mop head of bitch. I said, oh. So later on, Hayo's like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to take care of it. He's trying to figure out how the fuck is he going to get rid of Star. And he was at home listening, and Ava was in the shower, and she was singing the song the Star was singing. Then she's going back and forth out of Spanish and into English, and she could sing her ass off, and she's bilingual. And he was like, okay, he had an aha moment. I said, uh-huh. Meantime, between time, Cotton's down at a bar having a drink, looking beautiful, and this Asian guy, clearly who had money, rolled up on her and was talking to her, got her attention, because she tried to blow him off at first. He whispered something in her ear, baby, got her attention, was buying her drinks, brought her home, baby, in a badass motherfucking Mercedes, bitch. That bitch jumped out, she be clean as hell. That bitch come walking, and she's like, I met a man, y'all. I met the right man. Things for me are getting ready to change. Now, I got a big question mark on my notes, because I want to know, did you dish him your tea, girl? Or you get yourself into a dangerous space? So that's, again, I need to see what's going to go on with that next week. So I can't wait to see. I'm living for how Lee is unfolding Cotton's storyline. And Amaya's playing the hell out of the part. She really, really is. So, girl, I doubt it if she sees my review. But if you do, Miss Amaya, girl, you are really making me proud, girl. You are doing an excellent job playing Cotton Honey. I follow her on Instagram and stuff. But, yeah, she is tearing her role as Cotton up on here. She really, really is. Because Miss Lawrence don't knock me out on here, which is crazy. But she's not knocking me out. But Amaya is doing a really good job. She really, really is. Anyway, so the very last thing we actually see is they stop, and everybody gets home. Last one to come in is Star, and Alexandra and Simone sitting there, and she's like, how could you do that? How could you just fuck up the performance and just take over like that? And she was giving what? I just posted our performance, and we're trending. This, that, thing, the other. It's all good. Her mouth. She'll say, oh, y'all pissed? What y'all pissed for? Like, girl, are you kidding? But see, Alexandra's better than me. Alexandra is the one with the talent. Star sings somewhat. She all right, but Alex can sing too. But Alex can write, arrange, produce, and she already got money. I would just leave. I would leave them. I would leave them bitches and be done with it. I really would. But she hanging in there. And Simone she said, if you don't stop this shit, Star, there's not even going to be a group. She's like, I can't with you. And I looked at Simone. Simone looks beautiful in the face. I hated her outfit. But her makeup and her hair, she looked absolutely beautiful. I said, girl, if you ain't giving me some vanity and Apollonia teas, she really did look pretty. I was like, okay, girl, look at all grown up with her 16-year-old self. But yeah, so when they go in the house, the one hairdresser, the girl that was Gladys Knight's niece, she'd have been killed by the police. One of them little, this climate that we're in, honey, that they stopped her. It was a routine stop, and they thought she was reaching for a gun in the glove compartment, and they shot her in the car with her kids. We heard that story before. I said, oh, wow. So that's where Lee went with this. So we'll see how this pans out. But this was actually, I think, the best episode thus far. All right, gal. I'll see y'all next week. Later. Bye.